As the great Dracula once said, what is a man but a miserable pile of secrets? But I think this was a mistranslation, because I think what he really should have been saying is, what is a man but a pile of blood echoes ripe for the picking? What is going on, Tentacrew? It's your boy Billy, here with a unique challenge build thing for Bloodborne. And as you can maybe gather from the intro and my character name, this is the Belmont build for Bloodborne. So this is a build that I've thought would be a lot of fun for a long while. And on paper, everything really checks out with a unique and varied gameplay experience. And I just wanted to kind of bring it to you guys and get your all's opinions. So when we get to the end of the video and you see how this build functions, let me know what you think. So first things first, you gotta get your character looking snazzy. Also, we have a few options on what we can go for with starter. Military vet's usually always a really, really good pick. We will be starting with the threaded cane weapon, so perhaps the Professional or the Troubled Childhood could do a little bit better. I wouldn't probably go Troubled Childhood. It would either be a military vet or Professional. We are going to go with Professional for our pick. We've already got ourselves looking snazzy. Let's go! Now, being a Belmont, of course, there is no beastie that we run from, so have at you, demon! Let me getteth of that ass! Got him! Belmont has claimed his first kill! Now, I know what you all might be thinking, but Bill, there's no vampires in this game. What the fuck would a Belmont have to do with Yharnam? Well, you have to understand, yes, they do have an eternal grudge match going against the vampire ilk and their leader, Dracula, but when there's like 50 to 100 years in between Dracula coming back every 500 or 100 or whatever it is years, they're beast hunters at the end. They are mercenaries set out to cleanse the world of the evil that Dracula has brought up, and what better place to go than Yharnam, if I'm being completely honest with you. You'll no slap ass! You guys are infected, you must be cleansed! Your screams will not help you, it only makes me yearn for demon blood. So as I stated before, we will be going with the threaded cane starter weapon. We will not be taking a pistol, because nowhere that I've seen, at least in Castlevania lore, do Belmonts use any type of firearm. We will also be coming over to the good pool and getting a few things of holy water for the cleansing. The Molotov cocktails are going to be the closest thing we can get to holy water in this game. So we are going to be using 3 of the items that you can use other than the whip within the Castlevania games. One being the holy water, which we can get instantly from the get-go. The other 2 we'll be needing to wait a little bit longer, and I'll show you what those are once we get to them. But first, I must go and get more bottles for the cleansing. So being a Belmont build, like I said, we will not be using any of the guns for the game. We will also only be keeping Arcane in whip form. If this was some of the other games, I know other weapons do get used, but we are going to the traditionalist Belmont route with this, so whip only, and then some extra things just to make the experience a little bit more authentic feeling. This town must be cleansed! So the moveset of the whip is pretty versatile and safe. It's got extremely good range for this stage of the game, and it's also got a pretty wide berth on these swings, so you can hit a lot of enemies with the threaded cane. So you're not really putting yourself at too much of a disadvantage, except for shieldy boys. because it does do the tinkus dinkus unless he's an idiot and goes for the slap skis. Moving forward. Do be aware that with this wide berth of the weapon, some things you can kind of exploit through like this, but if you are going straight into walls or whatnot, there are some instances where you will just tink your weapon right off the sides of things. Let me find an example. It's not a lot of things, and I think it depends on the angle that you come at, but there are a few exceptions that you just will tink yourself right off of. Also, bear in mind that the power attack is actually dope on this weapon. It's a little bit slow on the go, but the range that you get from it is absolutely nutty. Also, bear in mind you cannot charge it for power attacks. Just keep that in mind so that you're not trying to get backstabs. This is going to be a no viscerals build, basically, just due to that fact where you're not able to parry or get backstabs. At least at first it will be. I do not have time to cleanse this entire town of evil. I must only get the centers of evil. Where are your big beasties? You all will work yourselves out in a matter of days, but the true evil, that will linger forever. Ah yes, Ogre! First challenge awaits! Huzzah! How about you, sir? So as you can see, damage-wise, the charged R2, or the regular R2, no charge, able, does about a solid, like, almost a double damage to the standard R1. It is just a bit slower on the go, so situational at best, but it is good for the counters. Speaking of counters, the roll R1 is very, very quick, and it has good wide berthing to it. The lock-on is even better. Let me get you this. It's a quick little swingsy. It limits your range a bit, and it does kind of have an upward trajectory, so on enemies such as these crows, you're going to have some issues, but it is very, very good for getting that counter hit after a dodge. The speed more than makes up for the lack of range. Oh, you think the darkness is your ally, old man? I'll have you know, Belmonts thrive in darkness. There's an example of one of those tinks I was talking about. It doesn't happen very often. It is quite inconsistent on when it does happen. But boy, is it annoying when it does, just because this thing does have such a long range to it that tinks will make it very, very sketch at times. So keep into more open areas when you are fighting, or try to. Another good thing about this run is, since we won't be using bullets, you can sell them. They're basically free money for other items. For part 2 and 3 of this build, we will be needing to get something from this pig. So, Mr. Swine, I do need you to let us do our duty to the realm and slay the darkness. And maybe give us some delicious ham shanks in the process, although I don't think sewer pig is necessarily the best meal to go for. And there we are. So we need the Saw Hunter badge. You can get it immediately right from here. And we will be going back to the Hunter's Dream. Be right back. I will say that not being able to parry these ogres kind of feels bad. And now that we have acquired the Saw Hunter's badge, we can complete the build. So we still have our holy water, but now we have throwing knives. What hunter would be left behind without a good set of throwing knives at their disposal. As well, we have the ability to go for another Castlevania classic, the hand axe. Now, in standard Castlevania fashion, you would be throwing these axes. In this game, we don't have that option. It's just like a standard axe. If you feel like going with this, you can. I do not speak as an end-all be-all. I just wanted to get as many facets of OG Castlevania in as possible. And whips, throwing knives, holy water, and axes are the quintessentials. The only thing that could have made this build a bit more perfect would be boomerang-type weapons. Unfortunately, those do not exist. There's a few caveats that I will get into as we are making our way downtown to show you what this build is really made of. But there are a slew of different types of Molotovs available to you in this game. Feel free to use any of them. Same thing with the poison knives. Poison knives are readily available and should be used to effectiveness. Considering you are limiting yourself on your visceral attack potential, having alternate consumable items at your disposal would most likely be the ideal route to go. Also, if you wanted to slap into some arcane, the closest thing I could think of to like a crucifix type mood, there's one of those tinks again, would be like a Call from Beyond. It might be stretching on that one, so it's really up to preference. And this whole run is really preference. It's not a challenge run. It's a meme run. It's just for the funsies, just to kind of change up how you would come at this game. But we are getting to the end of my tutorial on what I feel like would be good for a Belmont run. Let us cap it off with something a little bit spicy, shall we? Huzzah! That's right. Kneel before a Belmont. You think I've never taken a licking before? Trust me, I've defeated the Prince of Darkness many a time. You are nothing, demon. That's right, eat knives of the throwingest variety. Her knives actually fucking chump if you have a skill build set up. They are actually way too good. Little bit of oil in your life, little bit of fire by my side. Huzzah! Huzzah! Now we will go in with the axe for the win! Except for that, we will be dodging that. My only stipulation for the axe in this run would be do not do it in transform mode. That kind of defeats the purpose of the hand axe in my opinion. But there is a prime example of what you can expect from doing a Belmont run. You are definitely going to need to rely on your consumables just like you would in a Castlevania style game, but I feel like this is a fun and interesting way to play Bloodborne, taking away some of the mechanics and adopting a different playstyle will really get you thinking and varying how you want to go about some of these fights. Like that fight. There you would need to be a lot more nimble and quick. You need to be a lot more useful of your consumables. In other fights, like Father Gascoigne, parrying is not going to be an option, so you got to kind of work your way around how you're going to play that one out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below on this playthrough, and I might be doing a full Belmont run through the game eventually once I tire of getting my ass kicked in the Immortal run. So hope to see you all there. Billy_the_squid at Twitch. Much love, Tenno Crew. Talk to you later. 10:30 Eastern. Bye!